Big McKee, West Rucker here inside of Thompson Bowling Arena with our full court press at Vols 24/7 following Tennessee's 88-68 win over LSU. It was an interesting game in the sense of Tennessee dominated LSU in the first half. I felt like took its foot off the gas in the second half and then scored a bunch of points at the very last minute to make it a 20-point win. But overall, a really, really good night for Tennessee, a dominating win for 80% of it.
Yeah, on balance, it was a good performance. I mean, you can't act like that 17-2 run in the second half didn't happen, but I think those were maybe 4 of the 6 threes that LSU made in the entire game. And, you know, sometimes these teams, even decent average SEC teams, can get hot in a hurry, and that's what happened. I think it was a combination. I don't think Tennessee quit playing. I think Tennessee just backed off the gas a little bit. You know,
hard not to.
Barnes did a couple things with the lineup, a little bit here and there, and then boom. I mean, it was 4 quick threes like that, 17-2. It's within 8 points. It was important, though, that Tennessee answered that immediately, and Dalton Connect did what he does in those situations, spread the floor, made the play, the and one, and there's your game.
Yeah, and I really like Dalton's all-around game. Off the top of my head, it's got to be one of the best, if not the best, all-around performance from Dalton this season. The points were there, career high in assists with 6, 7 rebounds, I believe. Blocked some shots, picked up some steals. He was just all around really good tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's the more that you play this game and the more that you have to sort of get experience and learn the way people are going to guard you. What people are doing right now is they're basically daring Dalton Connect. They're saying, get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball. We don't want you to shoot it. You know, you can't ignore Tennessee's other guys, but you clearly have to mark Dalton Connect everywhere he is on the floor at all times, and people drive at him. He's got double, triple teams. So you would, if you keep doing that, eventually you're going to learn, just pop the ball out to the open guy for a 3, and they got guys out there who can make shots. So he's really improved his all-around game as the season's progressed. The points are fantastic, but the other things that he's doing now, including some stuff on defense, you know, Rick Barnes is having an impact on this young man.
He 1,000% is. Zakai Ziegler is also playing magnificent basketball. His demeanor is different, and his play has regained form. And again, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago before he went into a little bit of a slump. I don't know that there's a point guard in the country, when you take all things considered into consideration, I don't know that there's a point guard in the country I'd take over Zakai Ziegler.
Yeah, I think I said after that game against South Carolina, I said, I don't know how Tennessee will respond to this, but I know how Zakai Ziegler will respond to this. The pride in that guy, the ability that he has to have a couple of bad games and then a really, really bad game against South Carolina, you just did not want to be whoever had to face him after that, because you knew he was going to watch that film, he was going to stew on it, and he was going to go out there and just take over games. And I'll tell you, he is just an absolute menace on both ends of the floor. I mean, there was a couple times there where LSU was kind of starting to threaten to get back in the game a little bit, and he basically just said, screw this, and went and took the ball from the guy who wasn't his guy, and just went and stole the ball from somebody else's guy and went down the floor and scored and said, you know what, if y'all think you're going to get back in this game, you're not. And just the way that he impacts both ends of the floor, he's just a special player.
Yeah, and lastly, Jordan Gainey, another big night off of the bench for him. And Rick Barnes has been saying it a ton. Several people have been saying it a ton since the start of the season. He's more than just a shooter. He is a really good all-around basketball player. The shot was there tonight, made a couple of threes. The defense was also there with a couple of steals as well.
Yeah, you know, guys like, you could clearly see Connect and Gainey were brought to Tennessee for a reason, to give Tennessee something it did not have. But those young guys also came to Tennessee to bring something that their games had not previously had as much, right? And they're showing that. Like, if you want to play for this program, you've got to do the little things. And those guys are getting better at the little things all the time. And Gainey, you know, people were riding him a little bit early in the season. He had a few tough games there. That guy's a shooter, man. If you watch that guy in practice, you watch that, he is a scorer, and he can score against anybody. And to have a guy like that come off the bench and provide that kind of spark, I mean, it's great, because Jamaic's been a little bit up and down lately. You don't really always know what you're getting from him offensively these days. But I'd say Gainey, what he does is fantastic.
1,000%. A lot of fantasticness, if that's a word, going
except
on with
for those
Tennessee.
few minutes. Except for those few minutes. But yeah.
Yes, 1,000%. But a lot of fantasticness. I think I invented a word tonight. A lot of that going on.
How about that?
We're going to get out of here before this circus that's going on around us if you couldn't hear or see before they pack us up and take us out for us. I'd rather leave here on my own, so we're going to get out of here.
But shout out to Josiah Jordan-James for still putting up free throws about an hour after the game here. That's the noise you hear behind you is James putting up free throws.
One of the many noises. Tennessee will be back on the road next on Saturday at A&M. Then Valentine's Day they're playing Arkansas as well. So Tennessee away from Knoxville for the next two, then coming back home to play Vanderbilt inside of Thompson-Boling Arena. He's Wes Rucker. I'm Ben McKee.